Your headlines, your campus, your voice. Presented by RMU students for RMU students. Join us as RMU Live begins now.
A costly change? In just 5 days, this new website, rmu.edu/changealife, will launch as part of a new advertising campaign by the university. You can also expect to see TV and radio ads as well, and 24 local billboards. And the university is spending a lot of money to do this. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Channing Frampton.
And I'm Jackie King. Thank you for joining us. The Change a Life campaign kicks off on Monday. Altogether, the university is spending $300,000 on the advertising push. RMU Public Relations Director Jonathan Potts told our news partners at the Century newspaper that, quote, "We haven't had a major advertising campaign at Robert Morris since we became a university in 2002. A lot has changed here since then. We've added new academic programs, new facilities, and new sports and other student activities. We've also added the student engagement transcript, which documents the impact we have on our students and the impact they have on a larger community. We want people to know what sets RMU apart from its peers." You can read more about this story in today's Century newspaper.
And adding to that, there's a new building on campus. Construction crews on the east side of campus are working on a new building for the School of Business. But construction of this facility comes with an inconvenience, as RMU Live's Kevin Williams reports.
Massey Hall, it's one of the RMU campus's flagship buildings. It houses the Colonial Theater, the School of Business, and the Rudolph Family Garden in front of it is a picturesque, serene place. But right on its doorstep is a construction site, as crews work on a new building that will house the School of Business.
And that presents a problem for the faculty, staff, and students who have to use Massey Hall. Because of the construction, the road and the sidewalk to the building are closed, which means that the building is not handicap accessible.
Professor Barbara Burgess-Lefevre teaches theater classes at RMU and also directs shows for the Colonial Theater. Her upcoming show, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, has to be performed at the James Center in Pittsburgh's West End.
We're there because this year Massey Theater isn't usable as a classroom because we don't have any handicap parking.
Not only have the theater productions been moved elsewhere, but handicapped employees that had offices in Massey Hall had to be moved elsewhere. So did all of the theater classes.
Technically, the theater is not available as a classroom because of the handicapped accessibility issue. But because none of us have students with handicaps, we were able to use the theater. The jazz class was scheduled for Nicholson, which is one of those with all the tables built in. It would have been fairly impossible for a jazz class.
Meanwhile, for the year, all of the Colonial Theater shows are being performed on the road in venues such as the Byam in the Cultural District.
It's exciting to have the chance to work in other theaters, but it does mean a lot of pre-planning, a lot of rehearsing in one place, loading in someplace else. I'm trying to see it as a good experience for our students, but I'll be happy when we can get back into the theater next.
In the meantime, the faculty, staff, and students, and those involved in the theater program have to accommodate for a year as they build the new building. Reporting from next to the site of the new RMU School of Business building, I'm Kevin Williams, RMU Live.
And meanwhile, on the other side of campus, crews work to build a new residence hall. It won't be done until next fall, though, and in the meantime, 200 RMU students are staying in an overflow housing at the Holiday Inn. The thought of living at a hotel may seem like a luxury to most students, but some Holiday Inn residents say that it's not all it's cracked up to be, as RMU Live's Heidi Hickel reports.
I'm at the Gazebo bus stop today with students who are waiting to catch the shuttle to the Holiday Inn. These are students who are waiting to visit friends or utilize the facilities at the hotel, but most of them are returning to their residence in the hotel. These are students who must drive or take the shuttle to and from campus, which takes about 20 minutes. Depending on class, work, and practice schedules, some students may end up away from their dorm rooms for an entire day.
Well, thankfully my roommate actually has a car, so we don't have to usually take the shuttle. However, we did try it once, and it's a little bit too cold for me. Other than that, I would take it if I had to.
The internet is always going out. The television is always going out. You'll just be watching a TV show or something like that, and then it'll just completely it'll get that white noise and all that going. And then not only that, but like they said that whenever we got there that over the phone that the swimming pool would be open later hours than it was. It wasn't. They also said that the shuttle would be a little more frequently than it is, and they kind of misled us over the summer whenever they told me about it on the phone. and I'm going to be trying to move on campus as soon as possible.
I like the Holiday Inn a lot. I had the opportunity to do it. I was supposed to be a dorm resident this school year, but once I saw that you can utilize the pool and the fitness area, I jumped to it and picked the Holiday Inn.
Oh, it's a nice thing. I mean, the shuttle's convenient at least, so it's not like you're out of convenience from getting here in time to classes. And it's nice to have a personal bathroom for the Holiday Inn and all the amenities they offer there as well. So it feels like a nice transition from home to the Holiday Inn, and then you get to go into a dorm next year, so you don't have that awkward transition of just going from big room alone to smaller room with a person.
As you can tell, there are mixed emotions about students living at the Holiday Inn. I'm Heidi Hickel reporting for RMU Live.
And moving from the Holiday Inn to another popular Pittsburgh hotel, changes to Pittsburgh's well-known Hilton Hotel are in the works today as a new deal on its name and franchise is planned for announcement today. Reports from the Shub Group say that a new high-end hotel chain will take over the current building and bring a 4 out of 5 diamond-rated experience for guests in the downtown area. This is exciting news comes after the Hilton's file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last week. In another Pittsburgh news, Pittsburgh Mayor Luke Ravenstahl is heading to China. He plans to travel to Shanghai next month to meet with senior Chinese officials in an effort to bring business to Pittsburgh. The mayor is set to give a keynote address at an International Business Leaders Advisory Council gathering. According to KDKA, Ravenstahl's speech will cover ideas on how to manage transformational change, cities like Pittsburgh, and evolution from a steel town in a medical and educational city. Following his trip to China, the mayor will travel to South Korea to help plan the G20 summit.
Governor Ed Rendell recently announced that Pennsylvania schools have been performing better in standardized testing over the past 8 years. Results from recent Pennsylvania system of school assessment tests indicate that 82% of schools are making adequate yearly progress, stipulated by the No Child Left Behind Act. Governor Rendell said that the best news of the results was that students who fell into the bottom of 4 testing categories decreased from 22% in 2002 to 11%. And coming up, we'll take a look at some of yesterday's midterm elections from around the country.
And plus, Casey Folga has the weather forecast after the break. But first, let's take a look at today at this day in history.
G-morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the lonely? Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Sherry Pearson, you are the sole surviving heir of the King of Montanopolis, and you are now worth $45 million.
I'm rich! This can't be real.
Of course it's not real. Come on. Having money isn't about luck. It's like that takeout meal. Cook at home instead, you can save thousands a year. Feed me.
Feed the pig.
On the election front, yesterday was midterm election day in several states, and it was not a great night for the GOP establishment. Candidates, as CNN's Sandra Endo reports.
In primaries, Tea Party-backed candidates came out on top. In Delaware, the big battle to win Vice President Joe Biden's former Senate seat pit Republican Party-backed candidate Mike Castle against conservative Tea Party favorite Christine O'Donnell. The self-proclaimed Washington outsider proclaimed victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, the people of Delaware have spoken.
In New York, Tea Party-backed Carl Palladino challenged Republican Party veteran, former Congressman Rick Lazio in the GOP gubernatorial primary. Voters picked Palladino to forge ahead.
I want everybody in the Republican Party who opposed me to know this. You're welcome to join the People's Crusade.
But in New Hampshire, the Republican Party favorite is proving stronger. Former State Attorney General Kelly Ayotte leads conservative candidate Ovid LaMontagne, despite trailing early on in the night. In Maryland's GOP gubernatorial primary, former Governor Robert Ehrlich beat out challenger businessman Brian Murphy, who was endorsed by Sarah Palin last month.
Congratulations!
Despite a House ethics probe, longtime New York Congressman Charlie Rangel beats out 5 primary challengers. And in a closely watched mayoral race, incumbent Washington, D.C. Mayor Adrian Fenty was defeated by City Council Chairman Vincent Gray in the Democratic primary.
Both the Democratic and Republican national committees have kickoff events heading into the general election today. The big test will be, how will these conservative Tea Party-backed candidates do in a general election matchup against Democrats? In Washington, I'm Sandra Endo.
And the effort to clean up the Gulf of Mexico is coming along, but a team of researchers say that they have found an oily layer as thick as 2 inches coating the sea floor in some places. They believe it may be from the BP spill. About a dozen core samples of the seabed were taken and at distances ranging from 2 miles to 80 miles from the site of the BP rupture. The oil was described as fluffy, like falling snow, and ranging in thickness from less than 1/4 inch to more than 2 inches. Attractions is evacuated because of a bomb threat. The Eiffel Tower and the park that surrounds it were evacuated by Paris police Tuesday night. The threat that was reportedly phoned in around 9 p.m. local time, saying that there was a bomb somewhere near or in the Eiffel Tower. Police didn't find anything at the tower, and a similar bomb threat across town at a metro station also yielded no results. Pope Benedict XVI arrives in Britain this week among criticism over the landmark visit's cost to taxpayers and the anger over the Vatican's records on child abuse. A huge security operation is being mounted to protect the Pope during his 4-day tour. The estimated cost is beyond $31 million, with over half coming from government funds. It has also been indicated that the Pope will likely hold private meetings with the victims of the child abuse during his visit, but said he hopes that the visit will not overshadow the visit.
And the tropics are active again with Tropical Storm Carl, which formed just yesterday in the Caribbean Sea and made landfall on the Yucatan Peninsula early this morning with winds racing along at 65 miles per hour. As the storm moves over the peninsula and back out over the open waters of the Gulf of Mexico, it is expected to re-strengthen into a Category 1 hurricane before making a final landfall south of the U.S. border. Carl is the 11th named storm of this season, while Hurricanes Igor and Julia are still raging over the open Atlantic.
So what's the weather like?
Well, it was pretty nice this morning. I don't know if you saw the sunrise, but the nice clear skies.
Lately, I've been having to wear a jacket in the morning.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool.
I know. I wonder if we're going to have a cold fall.
Well, you know what? Casey Folga can probably tell us. So, Casey, what have you got for us today?
Thanks, guys. Let's start off with the national weather. We'll start off, as you can see, there's actually a storm coming in a little bit to the east of us, but we should expect to see that sometime around tomorrow. If we head into our base reflectivity map, you can see that right around a little bit of the light blue area, it should be right around a 5. So not too bad, but if you remember to bring your umbrella, you should be set for that. We can look at the local temperatures to see for Pittsburgh and the surrounding areas. Pittsburgh's actually a high with a 75. Areas to the north are a little bit lower with the upper 60s and lower 70s. So RMU should be a good location for this time of year. We can head to our 5-day forecast to see what you can expect for the weekday and your weekend. Today, as Channing mentioned, it is sunny. a high of 75. Tomorrow you can expect some showers, a high right around 76, about the same as today. Friday a little cooler with 71, cloudy. And this weekend should be great. Be sure to get out to that football game, a high of 77 and a mostly sunny skies. Sunday, as you can see, a high of 80, a little bit warmer and mostly sunny as well. That's all I have for you today. I'm Casey, back to the desk.
Now here's Jen Smith with a look at what's coming up in sports.
Trophy is returned. Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, a trophy is returned. Baseball season winds down, and what happened in Chicago? These stories are ahead in sports.
G-morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did? Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Sherry Pearson. You are the sole surviving heir of the King of Montonopolis, and you are now worth $45 million.
I'm rich. This can't be real.
Of course it's not real. Come on. Having money isn't about luck. Like that takeout meal. Cook at home instead, you can save thousands a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
The New Orleans Saints running back Reggie Bush announced yesterday that he will give back his Heisman Trophy. He received the award back in 2005 while playing at USC as their star running back. Many remember his landslide victory for the award, beating out then superstar quarterback from Texas, Vince Young. He was pressured to give the trophy back after the NCAA discovered that he accepted monetary benefits from sponsors while attending USC. The school has also officially decided to give back their copy of Bush's Heisman Trophy as well. The pennant race continues to get tighter throughout the major leagues. In the American League, Jorge Posada's home run in the 10th inning helped the Yankees reclaim first place in the AL East. The Twins continue to hold on to first in the AL Central, while the Rangers remain in first place in the AL West. In the National League, the Phillies remain in first place in the NL East. The Reds continue to dominate the NL Central, and the Padres also pulled through last night to remain in first in the NL West. All hope for a Detroit victory was lost late in their season opener against the Bears. Late in the fourth quarter, quarterback Sean Hill threw a pass to wide receiver Calvin Johnson in the end zone. It looked like the potential game-winning touchdown. Unfortunately, the call was overruled when Johnson celebrated a little too early in the end zone. While falling to the ground after completing the catch, Johnson didn't maintain possession of the ball the whole way to the ground. Therefore, the pass was called incomplete, and the Bears went on to win 19-14.
Thank you, Jen. And that is all the time we have for you today. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here next week. Make sure you catch Colonial Sports Center tonight at 9:30 p.m. and we'll see you back next Wednesday. For all of us here at RMU Live, I'm Channing Frampton. Have a great afternoon. Stay safe.